This is the major debate of every other bar. Who's the greatest NFL player ever? No doubt, the NFL consists of some of the most elite athletes in the world. While it's quite hard to make it to the league, the ones who actually do give their best to make the impossible look possible. Without further ado, here are some of the best NFL players of all time. First off, Tom Brady. Thomas Edward Brady has really worked hard to land himself among the greatest football players of all time. In fact, when you take a look at his career trajectory, it's almost mind-boggling to see how he's been overlooked at some parts of his career, although he always gave his best. A few seasons ago, he became one of the best quarterbacks of all time, parting ways with the New England Patriots at the age of 43 and winning the Super Bowl during the very first season with his new team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's safe to say he's evolved into football's best player. When you look at his previous achievements, he won the Super Bowl 7 times and appeared in the game for an insane 10 times. In this way, he leads every quarterback playoff statistic because, well, he literally lives in the playoffs. And when it comes to playoffs, he's 34-11, which means he's been to 45 playoff games in his career. That's nearly 3 full seasons of just playoff experiences. And the fact that he literally won against Rodgers, Mahomes, and Breeze in 2020 in a row in the playoffs. But sadly, we won't get to see it again. Secondly, Jerry Rice. When people refer to a person as simply the GOAT, you just know that they're probably the best at their game. So when it comes to Jerry Rice, he's easily the best receiver to have ever stepped inside the football field. In fact, he was also regarded as the greatest footballer of all time for a major part of his career. And if we had made this list a few years ago, he'd definitely be the one to lead the pack. Rice was born in Starkville and attended Mississippi Valley State before being selected in the first round of the NFL draft in 1985. And following his drafting, he became the major driving force for 49ers' subsequent dominance in the NFL league. Taking a look at his career statistics, he's won the Super Bowl 3 times while being a part of the San Francisco 49ers. Besides this, he also won the regular season MVP awards as well as the Super Bowl MVP. That's not all. There's also a long list of his career accolades that we possibly can't mention here, but we like to mention that longevity also plays a major role in your career because you simply can't call a player great if they've only played a few seasons. So no wonder his name was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2010 after he announced his retirement back in 2005. Next up, Lawrence Taylor. The top 3 players were really not that hard to pick when you've got such amazing players out there, and Lawrence Taylor is without a doubt among the top 3 when we talk about the greatest NFL players of all time. He dedicated his career defending the New York Giants, and trust us, he was special. If you didn't know, there have only been 2 defensive athletes to be named MVP, and Lawrence Taylor is one of them. Since the 2 players we've mentioned so far are actually offensive players, it's safe to say that Lawrence Taylor is the best defender in NFL history. And it's not just us. Many news outlets, coaches, and ex-players have also said the same. It was also said that he was the major reason for the left tackle position to become one of the highest paid positions that we've seen in football today. His approach was so dominating while rushing the quarterback's blind side that the league teams began to put money into the pockets of left tackles just to have the best player to protect their quarterbacks. Besides this, he helped the New York Giants win 2 Super Bowl championships, which also made him win the MVP award. He's also an 8-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro, and 10-time Pro Bowler. Then Joe Montana. Just the name Joe Montana has a unique magic to it. For the majority of his career, Joe was regarded as the greatest quarterback player of all time, thanks to his perfect streak of 4 Super Bowl wins for 4 Super Bowl trips. He also had the honor to play with Joe Rice, which gives us probably the best quarterback-wide receiver duo in the history of the NFL. So his spot on this list of best NFL players is definitely well-deserved, as he brought a whole new energy and spirit to the quarterback position and completely changed the landscape of the NFL. He played for the 49ers from 1979 to 1992, and then defended the Chiefs from 1993 to 1994. And together with the coach Bill Walsh, he perfected the West Coast defense, which helped shape the offenses in modern-day football. Since then, this incredible strategy has been copied and improved, and it's likely that it'll continue to influence the players and coaches for many years to come. During his 16 years playing in the NFL, he won several awards including 8 Pro Bowl invitations, 4 Super Bowl titles, and 1-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year during the 1989 season. He was also the first player to be named the most valuable player in Super Bowl history for an incredible 3 times. In fact, for his incredible performance in the NFL, he started to be known as Joe Cool, as he always kept his calm under intense pressure and also helped his teams to over 32 quarterback comebacks, which is really an impressive number. Also, Jim Brown. It's been over 40 years since Jim Brown's name was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 1971, and he still keeps making it to the list of greatest players in the history of the NFL. This is definitely an incredible feat to say the least. Although his team won the Super Bowl only 1 time in 1964, he managed to win the MVP award 3 times. This is an exceptional achievement for someone who used to play as a running back. In fact, he played over 9 incredible seasons as a running back and revolutionized the position in many ways. He was literally a Pro Bowler in each season he played, and was also recognized as the most valuable player in the NFL 3 times. And needless to say that he was named Rookie of the Year in 1957 after exploding right out of the gates. This man was a true champion, leading the league in rushing yards for 8 out of 9 times. The Browns retired his number 32 42 jersey, and after his retirement from football, he stepped into the field of acting. In fact, he landed many amazing roles throughout the 1970s. Wait, did we mention Reggie White? If you ever notice Reggie White missing from the list of greatest NFL players, there's definitely something rigged going on, because this man is by far the greatest edge rusher in the history of the NFL. He barely got any injuries throughout his career. He was invited to the Pro Bowls for 13 times during his 14-year career. This is a marvelous achievement for an era during which the modern recovery methods were literally unknown, not to mention that he played at one of the most physically demanding positions in the world of football. For his thrilling performance in every game, he started to be known as Minister of Defense, as he terrorized every team he faced. He won many awards throughout his career, including not one, but 2 Defensive Players of the Year awards. Besides this, he also helped the Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl championship 1 time. This guy was literally a monster on the field. He always displayed great strength in shredding the blockers and impressive speed in chasing down the ball carriers. Despite his monstrosity on the field, he was one of the nicest and most polite players who never picked on athletes he defeated a few seconds earlier, and never used any profanity on the field either. Sadly, he passed away in his sleep just a day after Christmas in 2004. Finally, Walter Payton. It's really hard to believe that a tough man like Payton would be known as Sweetness. He spent the entirety of his career playing for one team, the Chicago Bears. But there's no doubt that he was a perfect fit for the team. When it comes to his achievements, he led his team to win the Super Bowl championship 1 time, won the Offensive Player of the Year award once, and was named the MVP of the league 1 time. On top of that, he's probably the most physically gifted player that we have seen on the list, but it's not always about that. That's why there are several defensive players, quarterbacks, and greatest running backs ahead of him. That's a wrap for this video. Who is your favorite NFL player of all time? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.